Start the questions.
Well, down 10 and not looking great early, and your bench really came through and provided a spark. And what'd you get out of those guys that kind of turned the game around?
That was huge, and that's been on my Christmas list this whole month. To develop this bench, and we're only going to be as good as they can get. And I've seen the development coming. I've seen Haney doing some things in practice, and Chandler's dialing into his role, and Tego, he came off the bench and he was off to a good start, being really aggressive. And then, he went down and Paris saved the day there a little bit. So great job by our bench, to give us that lift. And because we were playing rope-a-dope basketball for the first 7 minutes. We were just standing there letting them hit us. And that wasn't going to work. Play catch around the perimeter and shoot threes was not going to win that game. And so I credit our bench for changing that game in the first half. And, then we played a great stretch of basketball there for a long, long time.
I think they started 8 for 10 from the field.
Yeah, they started 8 for 10 and then 2 for 18.
2 for 18
yeah.
to finish the half. Yeah,
They did.
What'd you guys do there defensively?
Well, we did a better job of adjusting to the game plan, adjusting the scouting report. But like I said, probably the biggest thing was our offense got a lot better, and we were more aggressive, and we didn't let them bad three, break, easy basket. We made them take it out of the net a few times, and that kind of changes the break.
I know Drimmick, he tweeted out, "I'm sorry," I guess, because he had the free throws and the travel that he missed at the end. But he had a stretcher in the second half where he hit a layup, he took a charge, he hit a three. He did hit some big shots throughout the game when you needed one. I mean, this seemed like one of those classic kind of Drimmick games when you really needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. He hit that big three, answered theirs, and made just enough plays. And I told our guys, just okay, here's the deal. It's early in the season. You guys, we're figuring things out still. I want you to enjoy this win, celebrate this win, and we'll spend a week looking at the last 3 minutes to figure that out and do a better job of it, because we can do a better job about. Beauty of it is we won the game, and we got away with a lot of the mistakes that we made. But you also got to credit Oregon. I've always said Dana's a great coach, and they managed that stretch really, really good.
What you kind of see on the last possession there? They were just kind of dribbling it out, and I guess Brooks went to the rim.
Well, I was number one. I was grateful they didn't have a timeout, because that kind of makes things scattered and made it seem like it was a little bit rushed for time. And to me, I don't know. I can't. It's just it was there's 15 bodies down there. I couldn't tell, but we had the best crew that we could ever hope for, and I'm sure when I look at the film, I'll feel pretty good about it.
What is it you're looking for out of Chandler this year? And are you going to start?
Well, number one is he's given us great energy on the boards and making some big impact plays there. He guards a lot of their best players and uses his length, and he can guard all kinds of different players. And I've kind of called him my utility infielder, that he can play 1 through 4, and whatever we need, he can bring. And he's just getting better and better right in front of our eyes, and he's accepting his role, and that's I think that's something that was hurting this team a little bit, is the roles weren't clearly defined. And again, it's not their fault. It's what I said way back in November, that we didn't practice together very much in October and most of November, so it was hard to define those roles and get those things where the players understood them, and now I think you're starting to see that, and now they can go out and focus on what they need to do and just play really hard, and that's what you saw tonight with the bench.
Early in Chandler's career, he seemed to have a little bit of the deer in the headlights look, a little bit timid, but he had a little bit of aggression in his eyes, fire in his belly tonight. Is that something you see coming along with
Absolutely, and I know, I have a lot of belief in that kid. I know how good he can get, and it's just going to just be a steady climb. And the great thing about that is when you have a little success, it kind of fuels you to keep working harder, and he's having some success now, and it's paying off for him. His hard work is, and so I think that winning this game is big for our program, big for our team, in the fact that it would have been Humpty Dumpty putting the pieces together had we lost that one. So I don't even want to think about that. because a couple of years ago I had 1,000,000 of those games, and it's really hard. I don't think those guys would ever forgiven themselves, and same with us as coaches. It would have been hard, and so thank God we don't have to. And we're fortunate to beat a really, really good team tonight. I've always raved about Coach Altman's coaching, and that's what I see with this Oregon team is they're going to be a team that you're going to look up in March, and they're going to be right in the hunt for the Pac-12 title. They're that good, and he's that good of a coach, and I think so this is going to be the gift that keeps giving, this victory over Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I was going, but I mean, I know if I get the coach speak answer, but to have this win in your back pocket come March, I mean,
Well,
how
absolutely.
big is this win?
Yeah, like I said, I expect big things from that Oregon team. And, they're down a couple guards too. Those guys are players, so that's another factor. They're going to be really good.
Coach, what do you think of the lift Zach gave you guys tonight?
Huge, and that's what we've been looking for. And like I said, that I've seen that in practice. I've seen his development coming along, and I want to credit my coaches. Coach Linder, my associate head coach, does such a good job managing. Helping put this game plan together with the group of them, and Coach Riley. Those two have been with us forever, and I think we work so well together. And Coach Hendy and Coach Isaac, and they just had a spot on game plan, and they you always we didn't have much time to prepare. We were in a dogfight Wednesday, and so they did such a good job of simplifying it, making it as easy as for our guys to understand as they could, and they did the turnaround so quick, and our guys did a great job of understanding the game plan.
Given the difficulty you guys faced starting this season, and to go out and win by 1 the other night, and at the buzzer again tonight, how important is it? I mean, this
Isn't
week
that
has gone
crazy?
completely different for you, and how important is this week to just kind of the morale of this team, the confidence?
Oh,
of this team
it's
going forward?
huge, and it can swing a season, and I mean, those things are valuable. And I said that Wednesday, those are the games you have to win and to have, the special seasons. And we just had 2 of them back to back. And like I also said, we're going to spend a lot of time now that we have, we got finals this week. We're going to take a couple of days off, compete in the classroom like we do on the court. And then, we'll have some time now, because we don't play again until next Sunday, to really go over that stuff that we need to go over with a fine-tooth comb and get better at a lot of things. And we haven't had much time to do that since November, because it's just game after game, and we got some banged up guys that you can't practice much with. So this will be a really, really valuable week.
You look at these two teams before the game starts, you just see Oregon with tons of athletes, big, strong kids, and then you see you guys and not the most athletic bunch, and the guys up there said, yeah, they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Do you sense that from this group of guys, that they play with a chip on their shoulder, knowing that they're not the most athletic team out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got some guys that have always done that, and we got some veteran guys, and that's a nice thing. When you got some veteran guys, they know that, and they know this was a big game, and it was a great atmosphere. It was a lot of fun for them, and so they're gonna go out there and leave everything they have. That's the kind of kids they are.
How was Tigo?
He sprained his ankle pretty bad, and so it was almost the opposite of Mikey's deal Wednesday, where I gave him because he was kind of moving around trying to go, and I said, "Can you go back in?" And he's like, "I'm not sure I can run, but I'll try." So I went the opposite with him. He wasn't confident in it, so there's no way we could go back to him. That was big to have Paris, because Paris came down with strep throat, and so we didn't have him yesterday, and he was in a mask yesterday. So he had to learn everything quickly, and he came in, and again, we probably don't win that game if we don't have those minutes from Paris.
Those minutes from Paris, it seemed like all the 9 guys that came in contributed. I mean, is this your definition of a team win?
Absolutely, and like I said, that was number 1 on my Christmas list, and I think we're starting to get that, where our bench is finding their roles and really contributing, and that's going to be huge in January and February and in league, because you can't win the league with 4 guys playing good or 3 guys. You got to have 9-10 guys playing good.
What role did the crowd play tonight?
Oh, huge! It was a great college basketball atmosphere. Isn't that fun? And the one thing about our guys, they always make sure the fans get their money's worth. They can't, right? Make sure they they get to see a game right to the final buzzer. And you know, if you saw these last two games, you saw some great college basketball. And but really proud of our guys, the way they competed. And you know, I think Oregon lived up to the hype and the billing, and I know how good they are. And so, you know, with that being said, I feel really good about getting the victory.
You kid about that, but I mean, 2 years ago, almost all of them went the other way at the buzzer. Last year, it seemed like it kind of turned.
Was
a
it?
little
Yeah.
bit.
Was that 2 years ago? Yeah.
Well, last year there were some too, but I mean, do you
Right.
feel like you mentioned the other day just finding a way to win and that
Yeah.
quality? I know sometimes it comes down to a shot going in and out, but I mean, do you feel like the last 2 games that you guys are?
Oh,
kind of-
huge, because again, like I said, it was not anything close to perfect. In fact, it was probably the opposite of perfect the last 3 minutes, but it was enough. And it was enough to win, and we found a way to win. And boy, we celebrate that.
See Chandler and Webb hit the floor there on defense like they're playing for Duke. They give you some flashbacks to some old Coach K teams smack before they've done that practice. That's something
we're a lot better when we're getting a stance, and you know, it takes time to do that and get the team buying into that, and they knew, and that's, you know, but the beauty of this schedule, and we made it through, you know, just a gauntlet of good teams, and the beauty of this is it's making us better, and it's going to continue to make us better. We're gonna get a lot of dividends from playing these really good teams and good games, and it's going to really help us once we get to league.
Good. Thanks, Coach.